it's almost robotic because there's so many students, which I understand, but that's what I'm trying to do.
Thank you. Just to piggyback one more thing, I would say invest, and you can have this for free. I'm an entrepreneur. I would say invest in finding students like Amy or myself, kind of from second-year students who already kind of been through the wire. There's a lot of things that I just sit and talk to individuals like freshmen. I openly have these conversations. It's knowledge that I have, that they don't have because they didn't go through it. You know what I mean? For instance, I tell them about how many semesters that you have, financial aid. These are stuff you need to know. I think a lot of kids would be more serious if they know you only had 12 semesters, and then you cut off for those who can get financial aid. You know what I mean? And just when choosing classes, to have an advisor, if you give them a little stipend, it's somebody who's been there before, that a peer kind of mentor thing too. That's just something to throw that out there. That would be key, because they tell them about choosing classes. Okay, you don't want to wait till the last second. And this is not to disrespect anybody. Go to rate my professor. You know what I mean? If you won't find yourself in situations, you know what I mean, where you I can't succeed in this class. Basically, between the peers and yourself mentoring, we can strategically put these kids in better situations to succeed. So.
And I know I'm a moderator, but I did want to add on to what they're saying. Just the strength of a personal connection, like you said, when you can sign for a counselor, you basically see a random person. And I will say that I've had 2 counselor experiences that really stood out. And we all have unique experiences, but my JUCO experience, I already have a degree, it's a little bit weird. But what was interesting is the counselor I was talking with, he went out of my way. He's like, well, maybe we can call so-and-so. And rather than just giving me a department, he literally got on his phone, called them, left a voicemail. We were talking about something else. So, okay, let me look this up. So what I'm trying to apply is going to extra stuff. So not only to say, oh, by the way, we have a career center, but here, let me give you a name and writing that down. Here, let me share my email. These are really small things, but that's what really stands out, It lets us know as students that we matter, that you care. And honestly, those extra minute or 2 it might take you to make a phone call, to print out a worksheet to let someone know about an event. They can be really powerful. So again, for that human touch, the little things can actually do so much. Now we have another question.
My question is kind of 2 parts, but they amount to the same thing. One is, when you first applied to come here, if you had some sort of orientation to the college. And the second part is related to the resources that you talked about, because why do you think that students don't know about these resources? They might be here sometimes 3 or 4 semesters, their last semester here, and just realize, what, there's a math resource center? How can they not know? Now, in a specific field like math, you would think they would put the math resource center on the syllabus. They would let you know. I teach Spanish, so of course my students are going to know that there's a language resource center, that we have peer tutors for languages. But, what would help you, and so that 2-part, one, are you given some sort of orientation to know these are some of the resources? And then later, if you are, then why do you think, students don't know that these resources are here? Do we assume too much that students know that they are here? How can we bridge, there's a crack there, there's a hole there. I might be saying, here's this language stuff that you can do, resources and stuff. And there's, of course, a computer center, there's an academic achievement center, there's a writing center. But even if I listen in the syllabus, I don't even know if students go back and read the syllabus. So how is it that we end up with students just don't know that there's resources out here?
I think one of the things is, for a lot of students, the help, whether it's the first day of class or getting ready for a test or whatever, I think a lot of things just go in one ear and out the other. As far as resources and help goes, I think it's just kind of, okay, I'll never need that, I'll never need to use it, and it just is completely forgotten about. And I don't really what to do to change that, except really driving home how important that is. And I never really had a have orientation.
To credit all my teachers, you're right. All classes do mention the resource center. With that being said, that you got to realize that as students, we've been programmed to kind of just pass by. You know what I mean? Because once again, we talk about it's not personal. You know what I mean? So you don't know me. All I gotta do is get this. All I gotta do is fit the criteria, and I'm gonna get my A. You know what I mean? So for some people, you know what I mean, that's a failing attitude. But for some people, they don't feel like they have to go to the research. All I have to do is just, if I just push, which I said, when that's that pride I'm talking about, I can do this on my own. But I can say this: when you see somebody getting that bad grade, take the opportunity and tell them like, hey, you know what I mean? I really care. If I want you to see you succeed, you know what I mean? You should go out and go to the resource center. Because what you should realize is that a lot of people are defined by no's, meaning like they're defined by their F. So if you get an F, are you going to really go out and go, to the resource center if you feel like they're defined? You know what I mean? But you can defeat that mindset by pulling me to the side and like, yo, Emmanuel, you know what I mean? Like, this F don't define you. I did earn it, but, you know what I mean? This is our solution. I think, I want to credit my biology teacher because that was the class I was like, man, I don't even want to work. I'm going to be in this class forever. I'm not going to do good. But I can testify right now that that's my best grade. But you want to know why? Because like she's true to her word. Like, she's always willing to talk to me. I go talk to Professor Holcroft every like office hour. And we sometimes just talk about life, but it's just a human interaction. It's to the point where like the simple fact that she's human and I can touch her, like, you know what I mean, in a metaphorical way, like it doesn't bother. Like I'll be walking around and biology just pop up in my head, and I'll be like, man, I'll be talking about like identicals and like asexual and identical twins, and I'll be come back laughing at her like, man, you know, yo, work is coming to life. What are you doing to me? But it was like, it's the simple fact that like, if you think about it, I've been conditioned to, those people who I care about, so we want to listen to the most. You know what I mean? So I think just have that simple conversation. Everybody's not going to receive it, but the simple fact you made the effort is going to go a long way.
In addition, when I came here, I went to an orientation class, and we just sat in a room, and we were handed a map of this big, huge school that I think people, like, I've seen them give orientations around here. That's not what I got. I didn't get a walkthrough. Like, before classes start, I would come up here 1 or 2 days and map out my whole route so I could know how to get there, because you have those people that are in the hallways with the ask me, but I can't ask you if there's 50 other people in front of me trying to ask you and I have 10 minutes to get to class, And I think it's a kind of discouraging for people sometimes when they get here, that people are just like, well, go down OCB or GEB. Like, sometimes you have to physically show people. And then, like, just to sit in the hallway and tell me just the OCB, I don't even know what an OCB is. I know what career in college is. Okay, so OCB, that's like a foreign language to me, but like, I literally just sat in a room and I tell people, like, if I see people when school starts, I'll tell them, just come up here a day or two before classes start and just map out your whole semester. I mean, because that's how you're gonna learn.
Well, I have a question based on that, because we've had initiatives to call students before semester starts. But I always try to email students before semester starts, and I tell them exactly that. Come a day or two early, map it out so you know where it is. But I'm finding students don't even know that they have a StuMail account.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, at that point, how do we communicate, you have this, your teachers might even try to reach you, this way, and try to help you that way.
Yeah.
But if you don't know to check,
a lot of people don't like to use a StuMail account because it's really inconvenient to get to most of the time. When you have your StuMail, like there's like another way to get to it besides going to my agency logging into that, and you have to log into your email after doing that. It's like you can type in the email, like this is the address, and that's, most people, A, don't know about that, and B, I had to look for that, and it wasn't even simple. Like when I looked for it in the JCC like website, it was like, oh, here's a number to call. I just want to check email. So when I finally figured it out, I had my email forwarded to my regular email. Some people don't know how to do that either. It's not simple.
No.
And because it's not simple, most people don't want to use it. If they can use their Angel account, Angel is so much more simple. You can check it from your phone. There needs to be a better way to check it from your phone, like an Angel app. If someone wants to do that, awesome.
We're working on it.
Awesome.
I'm Jeree Sanders' mom again, and I've taught school for 33 years all over the United States, and I understand you're striving for academia, you're striving for degrees and success, and et cetera, et cetera. But what I really think students need when they're in college, and maybe I'm out of step because I'm a little older, I'm almost 60, but what I think students need is a place to call home. Somewhere where they can hang out, because I went to K-State in the early 70s, and the Civil Rights Bill had just been passed. So they weren't even used to looking at black people, let alone being in class with them. And we made our own culture down there. We had 200 minority students out of 20,000. So we were like a flying buttermilk. So we made us a ghetto bench, and we hung out over there. And I mean, we had a little hall that we could go to and just kind of hang out, like Emmanuel said. We had mentors that would take us up under their wings and say, hey, I got some PUD courses for you to take. I want you to get your GPA up. We didn't even know what PUD courses were. And they would give us certain courses. Don't let them put you in physiology, chemistry, biology, anatomy, and all that in one semester because you may end up flunking because you're not ready for that. So I think you guys need, I don't know if you have it out here, but somewhere where these kids can just hang out and just relax. I keep telling my daughter, all school and no play is no fun. You gotta have some fun. So that's my point, and I'm not saying all the fun because you end up flunking out, but if you need a home, somewhere that you feel comfortable going to and hanging out, like we had our little ghetto bench. So, okay.
One thing that's kind of a little backtracking, I want to personally thank Scythe, but this should probably be a JCC initiative. Like, I went through a point this semester where I basically couldn't eat. And it wasn't a JCC initiative, but thank God for Scythe that I was able to, you know, come up there and go to the food pantry. So, like you said, I would definitely look into those type of things, like, you know, strengthening like the food pantry. And like, we're in community school, we got people who go from like Lawrence to all across the metro. You know, I think I was talking to the other day, like a serene room or a meditation room. You know, it would just be key to, like you said, just different cultural places. Like, so if you want to just relax before a test, you know, break the anxiety, you can have a serene room or, you know, all of the above. If you want to go play games, we have those places, but you have to have ability to have different areas to set for kids to be informal and find out about themselves.
I just want to take a moment to direct this towards the panel. There's some numbers that are ringing through my head that will never leave my memory, and they are 198. That was my GPA in high school. 850 at 1600 on the SATs, and 214 at 240 is my class rank. 24 years ago, I was in your shoes. My guidance counselor said, "You really sure you want to go to college? Because you're not college material." Well, after having earned a bachelor's and a master's, I just started my second master's. I might earn a PhD someday if I choose to do it. And I just want to let you know that with the proper dedication, commitment, and strong support system, you can and you will achieve your goals. And I applaud you so much, each and every one of you, for what you're doing, because you can achieve that and you will achieve it. And keep it up. That's not going to be easy, don't get me wrong, but you can and you will achieve those goals. And you'll overcome whatever obstacle might be there. And just remember this, if you have any kind of a failure, it's not a failure, it's a setback. You are temporarily set back from achieving your goals, but you will achieve them. And I just want to wish you two the best of luck.
I want to personally thank you for that testimony, because that's, like you said, that's key. Now think about it, like we're just 4 students, but that was the part of the discussion I had with Ms. Williams. Like I identified that, hey, you guys are not perfect. You guys had a, you guys was in our shoes before, but to hear your testimony, that's just powerful. Like I said, I want to commend you also for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Monica Sykes. Again, I'm here with my colleague Benjamin Howard. We're from the Student Success Center. And I actually have a comment more so than a question. And I want just to take a moment to commend Emmanuel. I've known him for the past several years from another campus. He was one of my advisees. And this young man is he will persevere in spite of all obstacles. And he's a great father. So I'm really, really proud of you, Emmanuel. And the comment that I have is that we would like to ask you all to reach out to us, because we do have 20,000 students here at this campus, and so oftentimes it may seem robotic unintentionally, because we are interacting with so many that we do try to connect with and are simply not interested. So we have no way of knowing that you need that additional help or that you need guidance. So ask us, try to connect. Even Emmanuel will not hesitate to email me on Facebook and say, Miss Monica, how do I do this? What am I doing? And so we interact a lot through Facebook, but just reach out. We're open and we're accessible. But if you don't, we have no way of knowing this. Okay.
I have a question. For the admission center, how you guys tell us to go find our CRN numbers and then come up to the desk? I think sometimes when you're doing enrollment, it would be helpful if somebody could actually sit out there with some of those students and help them map out their day. Like for the last 2 semesters, I've been stuck having to come to class every day. Just because like I would get in line to do this, but because I forgot to write down the CRN number, well then they're like, well you need to go get the CRN number. Well, can you just, can you pull it up for me? Well, no, I can't do that. And then sometimes their attitudes just make you just want to be like, I'm gonna get back in line because I want to see somebody else, So I think sometimes when you guys are doing the enrollment, maybe like if there's 1 or 2 people out there just to help some of us, and then like they can have their computer and then we don't have to go all the way back over here and get in line. Like sometimes that is very discouraging. I mean, like I don't mind coming to school every day because I'm gonna be up here every day whether I had a class or not, because I'm gonna do my homework here. But some students, that just makes the whole enrollment process, some students will start and won't even come back because what is the CRN number? Most colleges, I came from KCK and Diamond. We have CRN numbers. I just named the class I wanted to take. We found it, enrolled me in it and everything. It's like sometimes they can be a little rude when talking to us. I mean, but I understand you probably answered the same question 50 million times a day, but you didn't tell it to me. You didn't say it to me 50 million times a day.
And to speak to that, we are working through that. So
but I understand
disconnect.
that I understand repetition can really get on your nerves. I got kids. I can understand it. But for a student that's new and coming, that could be the reason they go home and never even finish their enrollment process.
And we do see that, and I want to honor your statement and what you're saying, because there is a disconnect from when students first enter and then they come in, and the expectation is that they will have completed orientation, during which time we cover that. But we have not yet found a way to implement an orientation system that is mandatory. And so we're losing a lot of students through that initial process when they first come in, that we explain and cover all of that. And so Benjamin himself, which I hope he will speak to, is championing. Yeah, that's something like that. Advocating, I like that word better. The orientation system to revise that so that we do reach all students and that we are more inclusive, and so that provides an opportunity for learning. But that is where that disconnect takes place, and we are addressing that, to be sure.
Thank you for that feedback, and for anyone else who has that feedback, contact your department chairs, contact us in the Success Center, whenever, because we are working on developing a new student orientation system, and I'd say this to the faculty as well. But whenever we are trying to get support to develop a new system, or we're trying to make a change to be more responsive to student needs, the question we always is, what data do you have? Who has asked you for this? And so while we anecdotally see this stuff, when we have to go and justify, the college has been on a budget freeze for about 5 years now. So when we have to go justify, we are asked for that. And so it helps us when, if you're having that issue, come tell us. Let us write down, okay, this is the issue you had, so that when I'm asked for that evidence, we want to help. To give you all an idea just of the volume, the first day we did summer enrollment, the office that Monica and I are in, we took 1,100 phone calls and enrolled 4,900 students in a 10-hour period. So there's a lot of volume, but we want to give that individual attention, and we need that feedback from you guys so we can do it. But we are working on it. Thank you. Right. So thank you for your patience, though we are working on it.
All right, we've heard the words that you just want to answer anecdotally, ask questions, speak. Because what's going on here is what I sense is that potential relationships and connections are being built. On one hand, we're having people saying, like, this is where I'm coming from. Other people are saying, please talk to us. So I'm not sure if we should formally put out a piece of paper in which people might be willing to write down their name so that we know that you're a point of contact and vice versa. But I just want to say thank you and hopefully encourage people to, the connections right here to make it go like this. So again, thank you all very, very much for coming here on behalf of myself and the panelists. If you have any last closing comments, panelists, please feel free.
Just real quick, I want to kind of reiterate that whole connection thing and just thank whomever is here as either a teacher or like you guys trying to get some feedback. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day and trying to make it all smoother, trying to make it better. That really means a lot to me personally, that you guys are trying to do things to make whatever is inefficient more efficient, or just get feedback on how to do certain things, and that really means a lot. I want to thank you all for being here.
I'd like to thank Emmanuel Maxey for bringing this idea to us, and it was so exciting because it was student initiated, and he and they, there it is. They was quiet. And they got together and they brought Chantel to Susan and me in the diversity office. But student-driven, I think, is probably the key words here. We had a mentoring program, Intentional Connections equals Student Success. It went to the Learner Engagement Division, and I think they're developing another program to replace that. Stay on them, keep asking them about it. I remember Susan and I were sitting in our office and we had Tanisha and Ashley and someone else there, and David or Emmanuel came by and said, I smell black hair products. So I knew this was the place to come. That was Emmanuel, okay. This was the place to come, and keep doing that, keep knocking on doors and asking people and finding your mentors, and encourage your colleagues to do the same thing. Maybe one thing that they might want to consider on the first day is maybe have a special issue of the campus ledger that lists all the resources, because as you said, students will forget, from that first orientation, and they're so excited about coming and have 1,000,001 stressors. But if they would have that listed, and every student can get one as they come in the door on the first day, I think they would tuck those into their book bags and then look at them later. So they might want to consider that. But I am extremely proud of all of you and the work that you're doing. And we see every day students who have been through the wire. There is no typical student. Every student comes with a story. From all of you there, and Jeree, we met her because Emmanuel said, there's this young woman you need to meet. And she's an incredible poet, and she has a powerful poem, and she's writing, and I called, got her mother gave me a number, and she came in to visit, and keep those kinds of ties and relationships going, because I think they're really important. We discovered a powerful poet, when you introduced her to us, and I hope you keep writing. Keep facing, all of you, keep facing your challenges. Life intrudes. That's going to happen no matter what you're doing or where you are. Life will intrude, but how do you get through the wire? And I really appreciate you bringing this idea and this program to us.
Yeah, once again, I do think everyone that's in the building, my whole thing is that I just wanted to break the notion that the administrations are the enemy. Because that's kind of how it's basically set up. Like, man, this is that person where I gotta give them all my information, I gotta get this grade. But y'all human, like, so I just think, like I said, I do appreciate you guys. But for somebody, we gotta work. I think the kids will work together. That's one reason I mainly had this conversation. Because truth be told, if we was to be honest, I'm gonna be graduating this summer, so it really did benefit me to have the conversation. But I wanted to be selfish because it's like I wouldn't wish, half of the struggles that I had to go through, which I realized there was simple things I could have probably just talked out with individuals. So I felt like through my own self-disclosure, I can help other people. But like I said, I say work with us. Like I said, a simple, like I said, they say the zeal and the wisdom. You might have to use my zeal with your wisdom to touch some of these other kids. Like, I got Lenny to come just because I think he relate better than me. He can relate more than me. Like I said, use these individuals, to reach the masses. Because, like I said, with your knowledge and my zeal, we can really, like Chantel said, connect.
With that, we're going to close today. Thank you, everyone.